Good morning, everyone. We're live from Houston, Texas. This is Wednesday, September 26th, and it's show number 107. It's kind of echoey in here. I didn't talk till just now, and I was like, oh, echo. Yeah, as you can see, I'm in the empty part of the house. These are the new floors that they've been working on. You can see them. That used to be the bedroom back there, and there's a hallway. And I'm in what used to be the living room. They're all just empty now. All those rooms are moved into the other room, like I've been saying. But it's nice and echoey. I hope you can hear me okay. I came in here because it's actually cooler in this part of the house because that house is full of stuff. You know, the other end of the house. So it's kind of nice in here. It's quiet. The painters, they painted that trim over the last couple days all the way around the whole house. The old house where they did the floors. And I went back and watched yesterday's show again, and the fumes made me loopy. I mean, I didn't realize it going into the show. It was just when I was trying to talk. My brain was a little, oh, I don't know what to say next. So anyway, good morning, everyone. Lots of people here. Captain Terry, Captain Julie. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Captain Charles, Captain Deborah, Captain Diana. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anyone. I don't think I missed anyone. Captain Terry made my mom's recipe for banana bread last night. I'm so glad it worked out, Captain Terry. If you missed that yesterday, I put a link to it in the show description yesterday for that recipe. Just check it out if you're interested. I'm so glad everyone's here. So yeah, it's not as fumey today. Thank goodness. Good morning, Captain Sandra. I'm going to try to do it like the big boys do it, like the big YouTubers. They actually look at the screen and read the comments instead of looking at their phones. It's so hard to do because they don't stay up very, very long. Deborah says, I love that recipe. Deborah's mom happens to be my mom too, so in case you've missed it, Deborah's my sister. Captain Sandra says, I'm at work, so I can't respond to anything. I'm answering the phone while the girls are at lunch. Oh, well, I'm so glad you showed up anyway, Captain Sandra. Even if you can't chat, it's always fun to have you here. 10 people here already. Good morning, 10 people. If you're enjoying these shows, please give the show a thumbs up before you leave. I appreciate it very, very much. Captain Deborah says she eats hers with butter, slathered. On your banana bread, right? Yeah, I actually do that too. I put butter on it. I love it that way. And Captain Terry took Deborah's advice yesterday and she added an extra banana to the recipe and it came out super moist. It's fun. I'm in here. I usually have a table or something to put a cup of coffee on and put my laptop or something so I can follow the comments, but it's just an empty room. Can you hear Tamaya snoring? That's Tamaya. She's right here. She's sound asleep. Captain Roger was apparently not able to make it today. I've been watching for him. I have a chair set up here just in case. So if the dog starts barking wildly at some point, it's because there's somebody coming up to the door. And hopefully it'll be Roger. So if he comes at any time during the show, I'm just going to excuse myself and go drag him in and sit him down. I have a list of questions waiting for when he's able to make it. Oh, remember, I think I'll be able to. I'm going to watch on the phone. Remember I painted some swatches on the wall? Let's see. There they are. Can you see them? Let's get the window out of it a little bit more. There's the swatches. You can see, I think on your screen, the one on the left is the alabaster, and the one on the right is the frosty blue. I don't think I can zoom in unless I get up and move it. But I'm going to go with the alabaster, which you can see is a little bit warmer. The frosty blue is like a real bright white, which I love, and would probably be really great somewhere. But I think for once the floors are stained and once everything gets put back in place, I think I'm going to want a little bit warmer color on the walls. So what I'm going to do is, since I'm choosing that color probably for sure, is I'm going to do a base coat on all the walls with a darker version of that color, And then I'm gonna come back and do some type of top coat, some kind of textured, like faux finish top coat with that color. My rule of thumb is never leave, never, here, I'm gonna come back. Hey, here I am. My rule of thumb is when you're choosing colors, never ever deviate from the paint chip, because the paint chip colors are scientifically proven to coordinate. You know, they're probably the same color in different lightnesses and darknesses. So if you're going to do anything that's two-tone, like some type of faux finish, or maybe you want to do the trim a light color and the walls a dark color and you want them to match perfectly, the easiest way, the most foolproof way is stay on the same color chip when you're choosing colors. As you can see, I previously, about 12 years ago, painted this is the hallway and that was my bedroom. You know, I painted them, these are actually neutral, kind of dusty shades of each of those colors, and I think they go really well together. But what I did is I followed a painting method where I looked at the paint chip and I chose this color for the base color, and then this was the top of the paint chip. Actually, this was one color down from the top, and then the ceiling was the top of the paint chip. So although the ceilings looked white, they weren't. They were actually the same as the wall color, and it made it look very, very unified. I've always used that theory when choosing colors, but this time I'm really trying to go for bright. I think that this house has lots of windows. It could be a bright house, which I really am kind of longing for recently. Something, when I look at Instagram or I look at Airbnb, what attracts me are the homes that just seem to be glowing like from the sunlight. And so the colors I'm choosing, I'm gonna paint the ceiling white. The trim is now all bright white, and then the walls will be that light alabaster color. I think I'll be able to get that nice bright feeling. I'm looking forward to it. The house actually that way, that's most of the windows, they face south. And so in the wintertime, I get a lot of south sunlight in here, so it'll be nice to brighten it up. In the summertime, it's not as much direct sunlight into the house, just at east and west. But in the long winters, it's nice to have it nice and bright. Charles says alabaster would give you a bit more contrast with the trim than the other. Yeah, and I think that contrast will actually make the alabaster look even warmer because the trim is this bright white. And I think once the furniture comes back in, because you know, a lot of, you know, furniture, my furniture isn't all glass, you know, it's kind of heavy. And so I think the heavy furniture, you know, heavy, it's not that heavy, but it's heavier than glass. It's not wicker. The contrast of the alabaster, the bright with the heavier furniture will look very good, Charles, I agree. Oh, look, Captain Sindet's here. Good morning. No notifications again, Sindet. That's the thing about YouTube. I think they have an algorithm and they don't alert you every day. I think there's something about that that's not desirable to some people, so they have it built in that they don't notify you every single time. So I guess you have to do it on your own somehow. Captain Charles says, I actually had to put a recurring calendar embed on my phone. See, yeah, because of, oh, good morning, Cindy. Cindy's in California. It's good to see you, Cindy. I'm so glad you were able to make it. If you're just arriving, I'm in the old part of the house that I had to have the floors replaced because of the water damage. So you can see the floors are in. They're just raw. There's no finish on these at all. They're white oak, solid white oak. And that replaces the oak, you know, because it was an insurance claim, so they would replace it exactly what got damaged. That was, I guess, the rule. So white oak, and now they have to acclimate to the temperature and the humidity levels of this house, and that takes about 2 weeks. So they're just raw right now, just trying to keep them protected. The painters that came, I noticed, did splatter a little bit, and I'm sure that they know, because they work with this company, they know that'll all get sanded off, and that takes a lot of pressure off me. While I'm a very careful painter, I've never painted over my own raw wood floor, so I'm a little nervous about it. I'm gonna get started this afternoon on painting. First thing I have to do is fix the damage. You know, you do that first, So there's around the edges, I can see there's some areas where it's cracked, you know, where the ceiling meets the wall, or, you know, along some around the windows and stuff. I need to caulk all of that, and then I need to fill all the nail holes and clean up, like I'm looking over there, the light switch plates are a little bit dirty. Well, that dirt is probably oily from my hands, so I'm gonna clean all that off real well so there's no oil in those places, so that the paint has no trouble sticking. And then hopefully the plan is I'll be able to fix all the damage today, because it's pretty much minor, and get to painting tomorrow. I love painting, it's gonna be so much fun. Captain KV says YouTube is going to be making changes in March, supposed to improve live shows. Really? I haven't heard that, Captain KV. I'll have to do some research. I hope it does improve things. I hope one of the things, YouTube, if you're listening, I hope that you make people's comments stay on the screen better or show it better, because they appear and then they fade away within a few seconds. So if I don't catch it immediately, I have to look at my phone. And I have a lot of trouble with that because I don't like looking away and it doesn't feel right. Hopefully it'll all be changed for the good. I agree, Captain Charles. So I'm going to get the walls fixed today, and I'm going to hopefully, I'm gonna also buy the paint today. At least I'm gonna buy enough paint for one room at a time, because it's, you know, it's a mixed paint, and I don't want to paint half a room from one can and have to go get more mixed. I know technology is really good, and I'm sure nobody would notice it, but I don't want to take the chance of not having enough. So I'm going to buy enough paint for each room as I go, and do each room as I go, so that it all matches perfectly. And this time I'm not going with 3 different colors like I did before. I actually love how that looked for many years. It's been years. I loved how that looked. This is the bedroom. Found out, I did some research, you know, psychology things really fascinate me, like the psychology of smells or the psychology of taste, you know, the things that it triggers in your psyche. And one of the things is color, right? Color triggers memories, it triggers emotional reactions. You know, a lot of people paint their dining rooms green because they feel it makes the food more appetizing, etc. And I found out that purple, which I absolutely love that purple, purple's the worst color to paint your bedroom. So I painted my bedroom purple years and years ago, and found out about 2 months ago that it's apparently the worst color you can paint a bedroom. Apparently it promotes a very, very disrupted sleep. So that could explain some things. And what it did say is the very best color for your bedroom to get good sleep is a pale baby blue. And I'm not gonna paint it a pale baby blue, I'm gonna go with this neutral alabaster color, but I'm definitely not gonna have it purple anymore. I don't know if I've said it out loud, but I'm considering keeping my bedroom in the bar and making this the dining room. I don't know, it sounds like fun. It'd be like I had like a loft apartment, because, you know, there's a fireplace and high ceilings and a bar. I've always wanted to be able to have a coffee maker in my bedroom. And this room is actually, it's just the right size for the dining room. I know the dining room furniture would fit just right, and it overlooks kind of like a courtyard area, a covered courtyard area. So it'd be actually a very pleasant view for the dining room. And when I'm laying in bed in there, I can't leave the blinds open because I feel like everyone from outside, even though they can't, it's overlooking a public space, so it feels like, it doesn't feel as private as I'd like it. So I'm considering just leaving the bed in the bar, in the dining room bar area. Why not? I mean, it's just rearranging furniture. But all these rooms, okay, I'm not going to do these rooms 3 different colors. But if you are thinking about painting your bedroom, baby blue apparently promotes good sleep, and purple disrupts your sleep. They did some big study. They had all the evidence there. They studied all these different hotels and all these different sleep centers, and that's what they concluded. So now you know. Baby blue, that's the way to go. Captain Deborah says, be brave, do it, yeah. And Captain Terry says the cat will appreciate the bar bedroom too. You know why? Because she eats on the bar. If she ate on the floor, the dogs would eat all the food. So she eats on the bar. So she, right now, jumps on my face up to her food in the middle of the night. But once the furniture comes back, I actually do have a headboard and frame. So that'll be way on the other wall where the bed is. It won't be, the bar won't be the headboard. Even if that sounds like fun. Captain Dinah says, your bedroom's lavender. Oh, yeah, you know, I'm glad you like it. You should always paint whatever color you like. That is really, really important to me. If you paint your house crazy colors, I love it. If you paint it muted colors, fantastic. I have a purple house. The outside of my house is purple. I don't know if you saw that on Instagram. And when I redid the siding, I thought I emphasized that I was painting my house purple, but I was surprised how many people responded on Instagram and Facebook last week, 2 weeks ago, that I have a purple house. I love it. I've always wanted a purple house, so you do you. I think it's great that it's lavender. So yeah, I'm going to neutralize this whole area. And then, I was going to tell you what Captain Roger texted me yesterday, because I wasn't really sure about the next process. Let's pull up his text here. Roger. So this is what they're going to do. So I'm on their schedule for October 4th to finish the floors. And he says, the first day they'll sand, and then the second day they'll finish the sanding, and then also do the test staining. So they'll put down a couple colors to choose from. And then they'll sand that back off, and then they'll stain that afternoon, and then all day the next day. So then, they let that dry, and then on the 4th day, they put down the clear coat. And on the 5th day, they come back and sand it again and put on a second coat of the clear coat. And then that has to sit for 48 hours before the furniture can come back. So that's what's on this schedule. It's a 5-day process to stain it and seal it, essentially. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. That I'm not exactly at what point in that I might have to leave the house, because I tell you what, just painting the trim, it was like, that was not fun. I know it was silly on camera, but it's not fun to breathe those fumes. And the painter actually said that children and pets, it's not safe to be around the sealer, the clear coat. So somewhere in that 5-day period, I'm probably going to be broadcasting from somewhere else, because I won't be here. I'll come take pictures though. So anyway, Captain Charles says, we always paint different colors throughout the house, but with this house, we went with the soft gray throughout. And I have to say, all my art looks a lot better. Interesting, isn't it? My whole thing was I wanted to look from room to room and see all these different colors, and choosing colors that went perfectly together. You know, I was just so proud of myself, and I loved it for years. But I don't know, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be fun to unify all these rooms with this neutral alabaster color. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Captain Cindy says, looking great. I'm off to ride my elliptical. Elliptigo? Is that one of those ones that go down the street? I haven't seen one of those in person. It's like an elliptical trainer, but you're out in public. Have fun, be careful. Yeah, so today though, before I get to what I want to do is, you know how I like to always be prepared, because I'm going to be hunkering down and working, like doing a paint job, it's a pretty big job, to be honest. I want to go out today. First thing I'm going to do is go get enough groceries to get me through the weekend. I usually only get 2 or 3 days worth of groceries, because I don't, I don't like them to go to waste. Plus, I never know what sounds good tomorrow. So the refrigerator is completely empty right now, literally, except the door has some condiments, but it's completely empty. So I'm going to go and get some groceries and get enough for the entire week, and get stuff that I can make big batches of, so I don't have to finish painting and go cook at the same time, right afterwards. So that's my first thing, is get the house stocked. Then I'm gonna go to Home Depot and get the supplies that I need. I'm supposed to clean the aquarium today. takes about 2 hours. I really need to do it though, because I'm finally getting a grip on the algae. So I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. Let's be honest. Let's see here. Diana said, I made it all day yesterday standing at my desk and walked 1.5 miles at lunch with a friend. Wow. You know, that's really, really good. Standing is really, really good for your back and for your alignment. And I know a lot of people are using these standing desks at work. And I put mine at standing height too. I've never made it all day. I've tried. I even put one of those mats you put in the kitchen so that it's not as stressful. They're kind of foamy. I put one of those in front of the computer too to stand on, and that helps. But I've never made it all day. And then you walked one anti-pain. Charles says they're called anti-fatigue mats. Yes, that's what they're called. But wow, and you walked that 1.5 miles. That's very impressive. But it's also 53 degrees where you're at. So, I really honestly think if it were cooler here, I would exercise outdoors more. It's just so hot. Good job, Diana. That's pretty impressive. Oh, and Captain Charles, do you have a standing desk at work or do you mean at home? I think it's a really good idea. You know what happened? I'm looking at the neighbors. I've always cracks me up because the neighbors take pictures of each other's houses to report them to the HOA, I think. It always cracks me up. But just up the road, it was so awful. It's a sad, sad story. There's a really cute house. This is an old neighborhood, a really cute house up the road. We have these massive oak trees in our neighborhood, massive, really super old. I mean, they're all throughout the whole neighborhood. And these are one of those ones that has the big giant, like, limbs that look like trunks and they go out like this on either side. The tree split in half the other day. And one of those massive ones landed on one of the houses. They haven't removed it yet either, so I don't know what they're waiting for, because you can't get in the driveway or anything. I felt really bad. It's tragic. That's worth walking. I could go look at that, take some pictures. Good morning, Lisa. Good to see you. Oh, Captain Charles, your desk is at work and it's electric, goes from sitting to standing easily. Oh, well, that's good, so that if you get tired, you can always put it down. I saw those at IKEA last time I was there. Almost got myself one, because that sounds really good to be able to do that. The way mine is, it's an IKEA desk also. You have to completely you have to take everything off from it to lower it. So it's permanently at standing height, because nobody got time for that. Okay, folks, well, doesn't look like Roger's showing up. I had lots of questions for him about the floor. Roger, if you're watching, we're all waiting. Anytime he shows up, I'm going to go live, even if it's at 2 in the afternoon. So if you haven't pushed the little alert button next to the subscribe, you won't know when I've gone live. And I'd hate for you to miss out. If this is your first time at Captain Housekeeper, please subscribe. Hit the alert button. It's fun. We're here every day at 11 a.m. Central, and also sometimes I upload other videos. My house has been upside down recently, so I haven't had time to do that, but I will. And if you're enjoying the shows, thumbs up, please. And you can continue to leave questions for Roger if you'd like, because I'm sure he will be showing up at some point. Next time he's here, I'm just going to turn the camera on, whether he likes it or not. Because I have this whole list right there waiting for him. And I have questions, and so do you. Okay. Lisa, just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything, Lisa. Automate and delegate whenever possible. And say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 11 a.m. Central in the USA. Bye-bye.